Back at Sebring again, and when I log in this time, I notice something different. The track seems a little wet. It's not raining, but the track is definitely wet. If I hadn't mentioned it before, Sebring is in Florida, so it deals with some of that kind of weather. So my first step out is to, I'm warned, hey, you're on dry tires. Uh, but I decide, hey, let's go ahead and go out anyway. It doesn't look that wet. What could possibly go wrong? Well, I'm about to learn a lesson in dry and wet tires. I've only driven in the rain once. That was at Nürburgring. Here we go. First lap, dry tires. Okay, start braking earlier. Oh, wait. Boy, I really didn't brake early enough. Okay, I gotta switch to wet tires. So I switch to wet tires. I start putting in some laps. These are very slow, the laps I'm putting in at this point. I head into qualifying. I'm setting laps of like 217, where normally the laps I'm setting are in the 205 range. So what does that do to me? Well, that gets me starting in 15th place. The race starts. I'm very nervous. I am on wets. Interestingly enough, some drivers are on dry, but the majority are on wets. And I'm thinking this is going to be an absolute disaster. So here we go into the first turn. You see, I don't know if you can see that. Let me back that up just a little bit and give you my view, because one driver already goes off. Crashes into the wall, damaging himself, his car smoking. He's going into the pits. You can see there's a light rain as well as the water being thrown up from up above. The car has to brake significantly earlier. I'm just not super comfortable on the wets or how this is going to go.
Some win on the first lap though.
Some drivers are a little more aggressive than others. But I'm thinking, how bad can this get? So let's take a look. I notice I am in 15th place at the moment. Really, my hope here is that my cautious driving, another driver off in front of me, moving me up at 14th. The cautious driving I'm doing hopefully will pay off, and other people are going to have accidents. But people are generally doing pretty well. Still the first lap. Again, just trying to get a sense of the grip that the car has at this point. I've only driven a few laps on it, by this turn. I'm making sure I give everybody around me plenty of room. This driver in front of me is actually slowing me up. 16's trying to be aggressive there.
Listen, track is lightly wet.
But I have no problems with people passing me. At this point, I'm hoping, let's just finish the race.
It's a little bit more than likely to me.
Watch our safety rating and see how we do. Coming into this, I am in 10th position. So I am in scoring position, but there is a long way to go, as we are only on the second of 13 laps. I notice that behind me, 16 is still pressuring me. He's driving very aggressively. I swing very wide here. And you know what? I'm just going to stay wide and go ahead and let him do what he's going to do. I'm even going to let 9 through if he gets through, which I think he does. Not interested in tangling with any of these guys. I do notice that behind me, the guy in the Red Bull livery has gone off, so he's dropped back a few places as well. But overall, feeling pretty good about where I sit. This guy in the number 2 car flying up way too fast, can't hold it, so loses a couple places as a result. I'm just taking, I'm watching this, I'm taking it very timid. And one of the things in particular you want to watch for is there are these puddles of water. You really want to try to avoid the puddles of water as much as you can, because that's where the car will easily hydroplane, and you'll lose control of it, even if you hit them like barely at a high speed. So I tend to try to avoid those as much as possible. The white Red Bull liveries definitely got faster pace than me. Number 17 goes off here. Again, I'm also aware that Aiden, the guy in the green and yellow livery, 2 cars back from me, just tried that dive that sent him too far off the road, so I'm concerned he's going to try it again. And I've talked about before this turn, which is difficult under normal circumstances and even worse under the wet. I swing way wide here. I let 2 cars through. Well, initially only 1 car. I'm kind of trying to hold my line from that second car. I know he's a little over-aggressive, so I'm hoping maybe he takes himself out. And he's a little over-aggressive there. I get hit by that driver. I take 0 penalty points for that. I think I take 1 for the off-track. But I'm able to regain control of the car. So fortunately, things are not as bad as they could have been. I'm still in 12th position. I'm going to skip forward a couple laps here because I'm going to lose a couple places. I'm still in 12th here on lap 4. And lap 5, I'm now in 13th place. Okay. However, my drive is going fairly well. I am not accumulating a lot of incident points or anything along those lines. I'm making good progress, and I'm staying out of trouble for the most part. So other than that one collision I had just had with that individual, who is now right there, and I go by, I have not really had any problems.
Sorry about that, Carl. No. When you catch back up to me, and you will, I'll give you room to pass me. Nah, man. Take your position.
So that's Corey. I don't think he meant to hit me when he did. It's fine.
Appreciate it, though.
But I know Corey's faster than me. And again, I'm not looking to get tangled up in somebody risking another move like he did earlier. I'm happy to let him go by if he needs to, or if he gets caught up to me. And in fact, I'm probably anticipating I'm going to swing wide on some corner that lets him by without an issue. All things considered, I feel like the car's handling better. But you'll notice it doesn't appear as wet as it used to. And in fact, the track is drying. And some drivers are about to start talking about that. This, I think, is where I make my mistake. I do okay there. This is why this is such a difficult turn. It just cranks in right here. And if you overcompensate while you're bouncing, you're going to lose it. But another lap down. I'm entering lap 7, I believe, at this point. Lap 6. I swing wide there. That's where Corey gets the position back.
Okay.
So now I think, hey, I'm going to follow his line for a bit and see how he does. And this is where I start to learn a little bit too. Like I see how he takes this corner, which actually later I'm going to take it even different than he does.
Try not to mess up there again.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make it through this alive. I swear, dude.
Everybody in this race was actually really polite on the radio. And you're going to hear people joking in a little bit about how the track is drying and their tires are going. Because, boy, these, I think at one point somebody asks, how are the drivers on the dry tires doing? And they're like, we're doing great. and I'm like, uh-oh, I might be in a little bit of trouble because these tires are starting to cook. And I start doing what...
How are the dry tire guys doing?
Here
right
it is.
now?
Here it is.
A lot better.
I can't believe they survived the early part of the race on the dry tires.
So hard at first.
Yeah, this shit dried out way faster than I thought it would.
That guy's saying it dried out a lot faster than he
My tires
expected.
are fucking cooked.
And his tires
Oh
are
yeah,
cooked.
they're cooking.
Corey in front of me saying his tires are cooking as well. So I'm thinking, you can see me kind of looking for wet spots now to get the tires in. And I'm not finding many. Not finding many at all. I think it's at this point, Corey,
Yeah, the track is really dry now.
he's going to go one more lap. And I'm going to skip forward to the next lap. Corey has gone in. Nope, he's still in front of me. It's on this lap. Corey has gone into the pits. And I see that happen. I'm currently in 11th position.
My wet could take no more.
But I'm also seeing that I am losing pace dramatically on these wets at this point. And I'm thinking, okay, I should probably pit next turn, take the hit on the pit. Other people have pitted as well. You can see right there, I have no grip any longer. I'm going to go into the pits. I'm going to switch to, if I can figure out how to do it, switch to dry tires, which, by the way, I'm not sure how to do. I'm not sure quite how to do it at this point. So I think if I go in and I just open up my garage settings, I may be able to swap out to dries. But that's going to turn out to not be the case. That's going to turn out to not be the case at all. And I find myself in a situation where, and I'm going to fast forward through this, I find myself in a situation where I go into the pit lane and swap out tires and end up just sucking it up and getting swapped out old wet tires for new wet tires because I cannot figure out how to switch it out to the dry tires. Now, since this, I have figured it out, and so I'm much more prepared. But yeah, I go in here. You see I get jacked up. They are swapping tires out. They put me down, and I realize I'm still on wet tires. So I'm trying to figure out how do I switch it off to dry tires, and it's grayed out. Like the area that I'm looking for is grayed out. So finally, I just say screw it. I'm gonna go out. At least I've got fresh tires, but they are wets, and they do not have the pace that dry tires have. And so here we are on lap 10. We've got 3 laps to go. I'm hoping maybe I could just hold on for 3 laps. We're going to scoot forward a couple laps because there's not a lot of learning that's going to take place here other than my pace is not as good as it would have been were I on dry tires. So I'm in 14th position at the moment. By the time I enter the next lap, I'm in 15th position as I've been passed. By the time I enter the next lap, lap 12, I'm still in 15th position, which I might add is last place. The other people who, like, 16 through 23 have crashed out, been disqualified, or exited the game at this point. So I am in last place, and now I'm just hoping, well, let's just try not to get lapped by the first place guy.
No!
Wrapping up
I didn't think it'd dry out as quick.
the final the final race.
Yeah, this is
Lap.
scary. Lap 6, I'm like sliding through T1.
It was a great
Typical Florida, though.
it was a great learning experience for me. But yeah, I'm going to end this race in last place, which is 15th, as opposed to like 21st place or something like that. But let's see how that impacts my safety rating. So, looking at the results of this race, this is my race. I started in 15th. I finished in 15th. I only had 2 incidents happen to me, and the results of that are that I gain a little more safety rating. Actually, pretty significant chunk. I do lose some I rating. So I'm thinking, okay, there's a lot of turns on this course. I'm not making up any I rating points here. Maybe I should just focus on my safety rating, driving safe races, and ultimately just getting that safety rating up on this track, because things are just not going as planned at all. I do feel more comfortable on the track, but not in the rain. And this was my first real heavy experience with rain on a Florida racetrack that's already got issues with grip as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see what happens in our next race.